Welcome to today's live. I was tapping into some collective, like galactic energies. So if you're a starseed, if you're someone who identifies with the stars, maybe you feel like there's something more beyond this reality, then you're in the right place. And if you're just curious, well, let's see what happens. My name's Fola, and I'm all about just, I guess, tapping into whatever wants to show up. So let's just start with kind of clearing space, some sage here, calling to those galactic beings, our star family, those angels that want to hold the space for us here. And calling to each of your guides, your ancestral teachers, spirit teachers, just asking that all the guidance, the messages that come through be for our highest good. Okay. So let me know in the, ooh, that's really smoking. Woohoo! I didn't even think it was that much sage, but apparently needs to do its thing. So I have this book. I think I borrowed it from someone and still have it. So I'm sorry, whoever's book it is. My goodness. Earth, Palladian Keys to the Living Library. I just was like thinking, hey, what could we like tap into? Hey, Meredith. Hi. Nice to have you join in. What can we tap into today from those galactic beings? And, whether or not you hold heavily to that view, I think it's a fine line of starseed connection, recognizing where we've kind of come from, honoring the ancestral stories of many different indigenous groups, teachings of our own bloodline, and also recognizing that even though we can have this star connection, this galactic connection, we are human. We are here now in human form. And so I love how this is literally, it's called Earth, but it's Palladian keys. It's like the knowledge that has come forth from, many different cultures that hold the Pleiades, or those seven sisters, as the ones that have the key, that hold the story of our creation. So whatever your views are, as with anything, I just want to invite you to remain grounded. And with that, we'll start before we get into the collective reading, and then we'll follow up with some personal messages, cards, probably some bibliomancy with the book. For those of you who are interested, you can let me know in the comments. I'll get your names kind of started up, listed. But we'll just do a little bit of a guided practice just to center ourselves here and link us to the below and the above. So just noticing your body and the space that you're in, whether your eyes are opened or closed. Allowing your feet to plant firmly on the earth beneath you. You may even want to kind of rock your feet from heels to toes, back and forth, just really feeling the points in which your feet make contact with the floor or the ground beneath you. And then letting them just come to a still point here. And imagining down beneath your feet, down into the core of the earth, that earth chakra, a place where you can anchor your energy into the mother of all. It might be a crystal, it might be a color like an orb, or just some other formation that helps you to recognize your link to the earth beneath you. And with that, an energetic cord of light begins to form with that anchor in the earth and links to the base of your spine, links to your feet, running all the way up through your legs. Just feeling this groundedness, this connection. And light now begins to travel up through the rest of your body, just linking you to this energy of the earth. Opening up through your heart, making its way up to your crown, where a lotus flower begins to blossom at your crown, opening you up to the heavens, up to those galactic energies. And from here, bringing your awareness up high to that central sun, to the galactic light that exists and gives us life here on Earth. And even further beyond that, the limitless light, which begins to shine golden light down through that lotus flower at your crown and into your entire body, marrying that earth energy inside of you. Linking you above and below. And just inviting those galactic beings that are your part of your soul tribe, your family. You may not know what that means right now. That's okay. Just trusting, having an open heart, having a womb of discernment, that knowing of discernment. And whenever you're ready, you can open eyes, returning to the space. Okay. Well, let's see what the book has as a main message for us here. This kind of galactic energy for us this week as a collective. Again, you know, with any reading, take what you will, leave what you want. Be open, though, to trust that, like, sometimes the messages that come through are what we need to hear, not necessarily what we want to hear. So just saying. Okay. Okay. Ooh, my hand went here, but my eyes went here. So I'm going to start here and then maybe go up there. Many of you are very disturbed by the masses of people that continue to choose to kill and go to war. We remind you that those who seek in this experience will create it and seek it out. Let me rephrase that or reread that. We remind you that those who believe in this experience will create it and seek it out. You can exist in a parallel reality simultaneously with this and not attract it to yourself. There is a great cleansing that is occurring and you cannot stop it. The energy of Earth is being sped up so that those energies with which you vibrate in the core of your being and those truths you discover from your ancestral line, you will manifest forward. It is a traumatic time because it seems as if the systems that represent family and civilization are falling apart. Those systems that do not work are indeed falling apart, and you will be rattled to the core of your being to find something that will work and that values Earth. If you cannot take care of your home, then perhaps you do not deserve one. The reenactment of lessons for responsible living will accelerate in the theaters of human drama, returning with an encore of what you have set into motion. If you do not like where you dwell, then reevaluate and speak to Earth with all your heart. Speak with the cells of your being, pull light through you, and say to Earth, "It is my intention and my pleasure to experience you to the fullest of my capacity in this lifetime. I am asking you, Great Earth, to help and assist me in locating a place of comfort, joy, safety, and adventure. A place where I can come to know myself and to know you as home. Earth knows who you are. Therefore, it is a good idea to speak to her and acknowledge her. Energy. I'm going to bookmark that page. Pull some cards. I think for many starseeds, that energy of not feeling at home and wondering kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here, is very prominent. So maybe that is part of the key of this message for this week for some of you tuning in. And I love what it's saying around this idea of making home, so to speak, the place where you are, by connecting to the earth, connecting to a sense of groundedness, a sense of linking to the resources of her, linking to the reason why you're here, and just trusting, I guess, that process. So a few cards came out here. We have first the Queen of Wands. Well, I'm saying first, but that was the first card that I saw, the Queen of Wands. I've placed it kind of at the top north position here. In the east position, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which when I saw this and just with how I laid out the cards, it was kind of like showing as if the energy of like that fool's journey, the hero's journey, the wheel of life, how everything is happening for a reason, and everything that is happening is started because of the last wheel turning. Okay, that makes sense. In the magical practices, the shamanic practices, the east direction is the beginning. It's like the initiatory energy. And so the sun rising in the east, everything kind of begins in this direction. But also noting that in the north, which we could see as like the end point before the next beginning, if that makes sense, before like the Wheel of Fortune comes, this is at the north position. It's like this royalty energy is you. It's always been you. And it's been about you reconnecting to the knowing of who you are through this cycle. But it's like having to leave this, you know, in the hero's journey, the hero starts at home and is going off to experience something so that it can return back. This is the whole point of our experience here. And like these galactic beings want us to know that there's a reason we were sent here. We're not alone. We have the earth as a connector. We also have the energetic beings of like these four holy figures that basically created. You know, they're tied to the elements, they're tied to everything that is. And death is part of that. That's why we have Anubis there. We have this concept of attaining knowledge, attaining death is how I want to say. Attaining death, which is an interesting choice of words. Meredith, I loved if you can't take care of your home, you don't deserve it because my home's a mess. Interesting. Well, the question might be, well, why is it a mess? What is that? What is that? I wanted to say like holy desecration, which is interesting. So, oh, interesting. What is this? The eight of cups. What do we see here? A figure literally leaving the cups, leaving all that they knew. This is in the south direction, leaving it so that they could go on the journey. It's like the moon's out. There's this like concept of, you know, the dark, of the uncertainty, leaving the familiar, but it's because you're here and there's something amiss. So maybe you've been searching for what that is. Oh my God. As I'm like seeing the cards one after another, I'm like, okay. Anyways, in the West, we had this direction or this card, Ace of Cups. That's the cup. That's the last cup. I love how the cup is literally in the West direction because in the magical sort of like system, that is where Archangel Gabriel would sit with that cup, the water element, the Holy Grail. We're going to pull cards around a bit of like each of these steps I think might be important, especially with that south direction of you leaving and entering almost into like a barren, unknown place situation. And I also feel like we need to pull energy, for the final cup, what is that necessarily for each of us? But then also this cat The cat in that card is just really like standing out to me. I'm not really sure what that's about, but let's start with some chakra cards here. Give us a chakra card for the Wheel of Fortune in the East. What does that look like? The cycle. Maybe something that could help us like fortify. We got 2 cards. Okay, we have destiny and we have perception. So what I'm seeing with this is, oh, thank you, Meredith, for the little cats. Yeah, like there's something about that cat. Well, Bastet, if there's any energies that you want to bring forward, because even as I was getting ready for this, I felt like a strong Egyptian. I wanted to pull out actually like this Egyptian deck that I have. I haven't really used it on here. Maybe it's just not the time yet, but there's something about Egypt. And if we think about how the timeline has kind of come through different theories and how Egypt is sort of like, ancient Kem being this like portal of the knowledge, the information, those teachers that came through like Thoth, all these different Neteru. There's something about that. But this destiny card and the perception card, to me, this is just highlighting with this Wheel of Fortune, this fool's journey, that everything is happening exactly the way it's meant to be orchestrated. That, I'm hearing from many people lately, it's like, oh, I think I've done something wrong. I made the wrong choice. How do I know I'm making the right choice? It's like there is no right or wrong choice. There's choice 1 or choice 0 from the binary perspective of how this whole virtual reality operates. It just makes us feel better when you think you have choice. Free will, true will, divine will. Is there really any difference? The things that you think you want, are those really the things that you want? Or is that just divinely orchestrated and imprinted into you at birth or prior to birth? Hi, Pengji. Thank you. Jesus loves you. So this concept of destiny, the white and the black. I love how Penji is mentioning Jesus. Jesus is literally that middle pillar path in the heart space of Tiferet in the Kabbalistic system. But so many people are hyper-focused on one way, when in actuality, what it is, it's to balance left and right along that middle pillar. We can't be in just one. You can't just be in severity, the black pillar of severity. You can't be only in the merciful, light, loving, white pillar. It's about knowing how to walk in the middle way. I think Jesus is a great example of that. Here's someone who went against everything, a true rebel. So it's kind of funny. And that the destiny. Do you think Jesus wanted to go through these things if he was like a man like everyone else? Or do you think he went through knowing there was a greater plan for his life, this destiny? So this perception card, love how it's a green card coming from heart space, coming from that sphere of beauty, seeing the world is beautiful, seeing all of the experiences that you have, I want to say created, because that's kind of what the book was reading about earlier, right? To those of you just coming in, it said, many of you are very disturbed by the masses of people that continue to choose to kill and go to war. We remind you that those who believe in this experience will create it and seek it out, because that is what they know. My parents are heavy, like Christian view holders, believing that the end is nigh, and it's like they choose through their perception to see a lot of negative happenings in the world. And that's okay. They choose it. That's their perception. It's not to say one's right or wrong. It's just different choice. So what is your choice along this wheel, along this blueprint that you have been sent here again as this like royalty, this person who knows a lot more than maybe you've been putting on? I think it's that black cat energy. It's like a mischievous, rebellious, deceptive energy. Stop deceiving yourself. What if you actually know more in this choice of just how you're going to perceive the world around you, and your experiences can actually shed so much more light for you? Okay, we're going to continue on here. Reading comments. Yes, he wanted to go through that It's what he did because he loves us. Thanks for being here, Penji. Angel Belem Tarine Sotelo. Hi. Hello. You're welcome. I'm not sure what I'm saying you're welcome for, but thanks for being here. Okay. I was going to say, what's the card for this eight of cups? I don't know why I keep wanting to say something else. We have gratitude. Again, we're seeing a lot of perception. Okay. I want to ask another specific question around this. So I'm hearing gratitude for what you have already. Those cups, those 7 cups that are kind of at home, dare I say, the things you've collected that are waiting for you in the treasury. Having gratitude for those things, but there's something else here. What's this other question? Something about this terrain. The terrain of Earth now and how they're walking it. Interesting. We got like 2 violet cards. Despondence. I'm going to look up the word despondence. I want to just give you like a true kind of etymological perspective of that word if I can. This is how my mind works. Despondence. Despondent. A despondent condition. A sinking or dejection of spirit from loss of hope or courage in affliction or difficulty. It comes from the Latin word despondentum. To give up, lose heart, resign. Also to promise in marriage. Interesting. Literally, give up one's soul. Animam despondere. Give up one's soul. To promise to give something away. Oh, whoa. So like, what if our viewpoint could shift from us thinking we've lost something to having gratitude for knowing that we've given up something? Like you did, you gave, like I often think about that, 2222 on the clock. I often think about that. It's like, why on earth would I give up whatever else was going on to come and experience this human existence? Like that doesn't make any sense. But there is a reason. What if it's like, actually, this guy's going out to look? What if you could change your perspective to see it as like, you're going out to find something that was never there yet, because you're going to add it to the final one. And that like that concept, give up one's soul, isn't that kind of with the whole energy of Jesus, the sacrifice? Again, you can see these stories as real stories, but they're also a combination of stories of, again, the hero's journey, the leaving, the desecration and loss of everything to come up again anew, right? To reclaim the throne. There's, oh my God, so many things that, yeah, I don't need to get into that right now. But there's like a disconnection from this earth. Notice how it's even the earth mother in the despondence card, kind of like giving something up. If you think about how much the earth has given up, if you actually look at the stories of the Gnostic teachings of Sophia and how the earth came to existence, like they, Jesus was a Gnostic. Whether you see it as that or not. Might be worth reading and learning about the story of Sophia. What does that look like? I don't even need to speak these words. I think those of you who are drawn to it and to look out more and to find what you need to find, you will go and do that. But I love how both these cards are violet cards, because there's something here about reconnecting to spirit, having gratitude for the experience that you're having, even as like shitty as it might be, and recognize that this is almost like, don't give up. Don't be in this place of despondence, but like know that it's more of like a part of the journey for you to, as almost a sacrifice of like learning. Like you are doing a huge favor for yourself and for others to be here at this time and to experience what you're experiencing. And as someone who's gone through various traumas, like many of you, I can tell you it's sometimes easier said than done. This is not just discount the experiences that you've had, or say just get over it. It's like, okay, you can continue to live in victim mode, or you can move forward from here. You can continue to let it make yourself sick or find the place of self-empowerment. I feel like this Ace of Cups is that. So I'm going to pull some cards for that now. Yeah, I'm just feeling a lot in the belly, solar plexus. Almost like it's like coming up, like regurgitating. Isolation. Miracle. I feel like these are cards that have been coming up lately. So we have a blue throat chakra card, and we have a yellow miracle or solar plexus card. And like there's yellows and blues in this card of the Ace of Cups. Those are the only real two colors. There's a bit of red and green at the bottom. Netzach and Gebura. The energy of linking like the right shoulder down to the left hip. Oh, you know, I'm seeing it like as the sash. Like the sash that's moving across. Like what does someone doing a beauty pageant get, right? Don't they get like a sash? Whatever that is. There's also lots of like little yods, little flames. You might, I don't know if you can see those little yods, the Hebrew letter falling down. That's like spirit, light of spirit. The lantern kind of falling down from water element, which is fascinating because water and fire don't really mix, right? Water will put fire out. I don't know why I'm having to say that. Like, there's something about that, I think, right now. In terms of isolation, I was just watching a video. Maybe I'll just share. It was like, I think Teal Swan talking about why some people want to just be on their own. And usually that aloneness or call for the isolation is because of not feeling safe or not feeling as though you can, like, be yourself around people. I know for myself, I definitely feel that. It's like I'm noticing more. It's like, oh, I just don't want to be around people because it's like I can't really like be me. I'm still holding myself back. It's not that people are stopping. There's like me putting this like need to a mask on. I love how it's like a figure. It almost looks like a book or something, right? And he's like not a human, but he's going to put on this human suit. That's probably what many of you like feel like, this energy of like, oh my God, like I gotta like I tell Paul this often, like I gotta go like human, like I just like it doesn't come naturally. And that makes sense because I'm gonna pull another card for this, but like there's many of you there that are like praying for this miracle of something. Personally, what I think a lot of people hope the end time is coming because they're like tired of humaning. Like it would be kind of easy to just let this whole place, let war, let destruction happen so that we could just be done with it. That's not really the best miracle though, because that's just pain and suffering, right? Let's pull one more for this card for some reason. I'm not really sure what that's trying to say. I'm going to pull from here. I love how, again, this miracle card has like a tree stump. And that's from where, so something of destruction and death comes new birth. What about this Ace of Cups? What else do we need to know? Something about this dove. The dove, the communion, like literally diving into the cup. Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. Let me just show you the symbol there. That 6-rayed star. So within that, we have the element of fire, the upward facing triangle, and the downward triangle of water. So there's something about those two energies. We'll just call in fire and water. Because I'm feeling like sometimes when I get like a stuck kind of ability to speak what the cards are saying, it's usually because there's like something energetically that just needs to happen and words don't articulate that. So we're going to just call to fire and water. So taking a deep breath in and tuning into that triangle of fire that runs from the top of your head down to your right hip, over to your left hip and back up to your crown, creating this upward facing triangle, the triangle of fire. Reds. Imagining it in fire, red flames. And now at the base of your spine, kind of in your womb space, the point of water begins and it moves up to your left shoulder, across to your right shoulder, and back down into that point in your womb, in your pelvic space, creating that element of water in the downward pointing triangle. Maim. Seeing that perhaps in a blue lightning flame of energy moving, pulsating from pelvis to shoulder and shoulder, back down. When those two become one, the way is within you, the six-rayed star. Just noting both of those triangles joining together, water and fire, creating a golden six-rayed star, that golden star in the center, creating that throughout your entire body. Okay, breathing in whatever that experience was for you. Moving on to this final Queen of Wands, this cat. Completion. Black cats are often seen as suspicious. I had a black cat. I remember my grandma on my Nigerian side, when she found out, she was like, why would you have a cat? You can't have a black cat. They're evil. They're horrible. Well, yes and no. They're just cats. But like, what mystery does the cat hold? Meredith, yes, please, a miracle. Yes. Well, that six-rayed star will bring the miracles. It's within you. The two become one. The way is within you. Hi, Marie. Hello. So we have here the Queen of Wands, and we have a sacral completion card. And there's people like kind of like at this place of mourning, you know, moving beyond. So again, the cycle in that first card, it's like the death in this space. You grieving, you're leaving home, leaving the galactic connection, coming to the earthly plane, however it is, so that you can find joy. Oh my God, I can't hold so many cards in my hands. The joy card came out before too. There's something about this joy card lately. Finding the joy in the practical pieces or elements, all the stuff that we can like really recognize in our life. How does joy want to come through for you as you go through this grief? Black cat, I feel like we need to pull a card for that black cat with this black deck. Who are you, black cat? So you're helping us almost as this like guide. Well, that doesn't help when it's like 10 cards flying. I've had several black cats. One right now. Sweet. There it is. Oh, I like big ones. I love black cats. Hi, Amanda. Interesting how we had Felicitas in this card. Felix the black cat. Remember Sabrina? And I'm not talking about the new Netflixy remake. I'm talking about like the original. Okay. And we have the festival. Creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Look inside, you guys, in the center. What is that? The 6th-grade star, and it's like water and earth element. You see it? It's like white and black. So we're just going to call to that cat. Okay, cat, Felix, whatever, black cat of magic that's moving around in the shadows. Wow, there's a black cat that like is out and about constantly, like in our little neighborhood here, and it's like, I love when I see it because it's got this energy. What creative, energetic blueprint can you support us with creating, I guess, for bringing into our existence? Because joy comes around from having fun, right? And that can come from a party, that can come from an event. I love how isolation was there previously. But it's like, what wants to be formed here? So just envisioning that black cat or welcoming that black cat, if you feel comfortable to do so, to just kind of guide you in this play and this joy and what wants to come about that can be this energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. I feel like there's something else here, but I'm not, what is it? Okay, one of these final cards for the center. I'm Amanda, 06 January. If I can ask a question, I would like to know if there is a message. Oh yes, okay, Amanda. I'm going to put names here. I don't know if anyone else has said, but yeah. Helga BJ says, I have a cat too, I assume. His name is Bowie. Cool. Hi, Alma Tercier. Sylphie. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, an air sprite. Aww. That's so awesome. For sure, Helga. And just so everyone knows, if I'm jumping around with the readings, when we get to the personal readings, just members of the community get kind of first dibs. So I'm just speaking that. Okay. But we're going to pull one card for the center. Oh, I didn't have. Oh, okay. We have the grief card. Oh, and when I'm seeing this, you know what I was just thinking? Like what came to me instantly was this energy of like grief for the loss of the things we cared for. When you know, it's interesting, when I left home, talking about black cats, when I left home in Kuwait, like I left my black cat because I couldn't like travel with it. I had nowhere to bring it to. I was going to university. And it was like, apparently after I left, the cat, according to my parents, went kind of like berserk, maybe, because like he kind of just came to me. He was like sort of like found me. It was weird. And he ran out of the house, apparently. I don't know. My parents have done some interesting things with their pets in the past. Not like bad things, but I'm kind of like, you know, kind of has me wonder what really happened. I believe cats have 9 lives and they come and go from our lifetime or in a lifetime in the means of different forms of cats. Okay. They'll show up. My last cat showed up and after the other one left. Like, do you know, it's like it takes on a different form. So there's something about this like this form, like maybe it's like grieving your form, your previous galactic form. You know, this to me is kind of where that light body meditation or accessing your light body, astral body temple can be great because you envision yourself in your highest light body form, the form that seems the most like epic. To me, that would almost be like a galactic way of being. You just like resonate and emit this like very queen energy, right? Look how she's holding that flower as well. Just like it's like an embodiment of that beauty. I'm not just talking physical, but like the thing about accessing that astral light body is you can make it as physical as you want. Envision yourself. You can just do this practice, envisioning yourself in your true form, so that you can like come to a new appreciation of it instead of just being in the sad grief of it. Because like I just get this sense that like this whole concept of the journey and the cycle means that you're not meant to get stuck or trapped in this grief place. you can't get trapped in the despondency or the isolation or the grief or, the negativity of like, oh, why me? Why is this happening? It's okay to have days like that because that's grief, but also like now, okay, new lens. What am I seeing here? So we're going to go into the personal card pulls, and perhaps that will kind of guide for you like individually what the messages want to be that show up. And yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, yes, Meredith, I will put you on. Okay. I just assumed you wanted a card, Meredith. But I shouldn't assume, right? Okay. And we'll call to that energy. I love how you put like that Bastet. I don't know much about Bastet, to be honest, so I can't really speak to all of her. But she is associated with the sun, the moon, pregnancy, protection, the Eye of Ra. So we call to you, Bastet. As we go through these readings, the link to this energy of beyond the earth, beyond the stars. As we start with Meredith and her cat, Sylphie. That's cute. Okay. Well, I'm reading for your cat necessarily, but I don't know. Okay, Meredith. Okay, that's funny. My finger went there, my eyes went there. My gosh. Okay, we're going to go here. Many people these days are practicing celibacy because they realize that the kind of sexual activity they were previously engaging in was draining their energy. Perhaps this occurred because they were sexual with others without love, without a commitment, and without a spiritual connection to bond together. As we have said, your electromagnetic bodies and auric fields get fused together. There is back and forth telepathy. You own me, I own you, playing out on the etheric level. I'm going to just read part of what I pointed at. In recent years, there's been a pulling back, a fear of sexuality. People are withdrawing from sexuality. I don't understand this force. I come together with someone, and in the moment it feels absolutely exhilarating. It feels as if I'm having 100 hot fudge sundaes and not gaining a pound. Then afterward, I don't feel so good. Intimacy and honesty and commitment are the essential parts of having good sexual experiences. Intimacy, honesty, and commitment. Then you must be able to be vulnerable and open in each other's eyes. Then sexual activity holds a higher vibration. So, with that being said, Meredith, let's pull some cards. Do you know you're a sexual healer is the first question I want to ask. What is that? That might be something for you to explore. Oh, interesting. There's like a card in here that's flipped already. The Six of Cups. Like, I just want to say with these cards that came out, 100%, absolutely 100% committed to why. I don't know. Maybe you're in a relationship already. Anyways, there's something here I'm seeing about receiving from the masculine. We have that Six of Cups, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have this lovely World card. And I'm seeing this as the protection of the auric field and the cosmic egg, that elated, blissful ecstasy that comes from intimacy. And what can it look like for that masculine energy? Again, it doesn't have to be necessarily a man, right? That what can that look like to receive and then be in that bliss? There's a commitment that can come through from that. And I love how he's giving a cup because it's more than just the material thing. Maybe it starts like that, right? But it's actually like the nourishing that wants to come through from the masculine is how I want to say. Maybe in the past it was more focused on like receiving the gifts or the physical time or whatever like that. Now, what if it's something more about like the emotionality of the masculine that wants to gift to you, like the inner child to the inner child, the playfulness, the fun. There's something about the wands that she's holding in her hands that are like speaking or like just drawing attention, I guess I'll say. Let's see what's that. What are those wands? So we have the facade card. There's definitely a lot about like inner child stuff here. There's like a little kid here, those two little kids there. It's interesting too because like the way the cards, it's like a woman and then the little girl and then the page of pentacles and then the like younger boy in the cup and then we have this older gentleman with a little gentleman, little boy in this card. There's something here. I don't know if it's like around your guys's like father energy that wants to be looked at, talked about, maybe even. So that a new form can be embodied, like the playfulness of the father rather than the like harshness of the father. This is all solar plexus energy too, so it's almost like a way that that's being like he is operating at, or that masculine is operating at. All the times where like the masculine has been maybe like negative, I want to say, or harmful, like it's just been a facade of protection because of the wounds of the father, like their father, and the wounds that the inner child experienced. So let's pull one of these. Ooh, okay, well, that's weird. The cards, some cards went over here, but this card flipped. Is there another card that flipped? Philosophers, okay, the first card though was insight. Opens the third eye to strengthen the intuition. So this card of insight for you, Meredith, so that you can like not carry this facade of protection, especially if you're carrying anything from father that's like maybe holding that masculine energy. There's no love for Meredith. I will do as you say though, but I'm thinking I should write about my father. Oh, I would say there's love for you. Can you be willing to see it? Opens the third eye to strengthen intuition. I love what you're saying about writing, about your father, tapping into those stories. Like there's definitely something there. You could even like, if you have pictures of your dad or something, like looking at those old pictures, getting a different glance of him, because there's something about the age range here of like the old man, younger man, and the little man, little boy. Okay, you also have Philosopher's Stone, powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. I love how the world card's there because like that's you, but it also shows the complete universal connection to that energy. It comes from inside of you. It comes from all around you. What is it you want to create? You know, and maybe, I don't know what there is for you around those beliefs or views around love or being okay for love. Can you just be willing? Because I think it was actually a card I saw at the bottom here. Let me just check if it's the real, yeah. If it's like, are you willing to release the old way in which you perceive it? So that you can trust that you have a strong protection around you. I'm going to pull, no, am I going to pull any more? Well, I'll pull one of these maybe. I feel like tapping into that energy, oh my gosh, knock you guys over. I feel like tapping into that energy of the sexual healer, like knowing what that means and how that works can be helpful. Whoops. Um, yeah, because otherwise it can just feel heavy. Like, I think, how many relationships did I have where I was just healing people during physical intimacy? It doesn't have to be like actual sex, right? It's like, okay, after I declared that that was done, then things were okay, I'd say. I mean, not like I'm perfect, but I definitely noticed that healing factor can be both ways. Declutter. Weren't you saying something about your house? You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. So that's your final card, Meredith. Maybe that's something to start with, along with writing the letter, writing something about your father to your father, however that is, and just trust. Yeah, the world. I love how she's holding the world there. The world is yours, and that world includes love. There's like, even he's holding like a disc that could be seen as the world, right? There's something there. I don't know, Meredith. Whatever that's going to look like for you, but it's positive. Be willing to receive the affection and love from the masculine. Again, whatever that means to you. Okay. Okay. That's a great idea. I've been meaning to write for ages. The Philosopher's Stone is like the artist's way book. Hi, Amy. I would love to see what might come out for me. Oh, okay. I'll add your name. There's a couple people before you. But... Okay. You're welcome, Meredith. Let's see what happens. Okay, Amanda, you're next. I think you had a question almost. I would like to know if there is a message. Let's see what the book says. We're just going through galactic messages from this Earth book for Amanda. Okay. Plants grown in a toxic-free, loving environment, nurtured and spoken to, send out a response to that treatment. The plants and trees outside the house want the same thing. So do the plants in the field next door. They want the same love and may bend and move in the direction of love being expressed. The plant kingdom is very generous, as is the animal kingdom. They both give freely. They both freely give. The plants and animals that you energize share that energy with all they know. They give off hormone-like substances so that instantly what one plant knows and experiences is sent to all the other plants. So if you are a plant person, Amanda, or thinking about it, that's maybe something to be aware of. Let's see, I'm seeing 9 and 3 in the numbers up there. It's making me think of 93, like love is the law. Love under will. What's love? Plants follow love. The earth follows love. So, Amanda, as we pull some cards, let's see what wants to come through. You have the 9 of Cups. We're getting lots of cup energy here today. I am a plant person. I am a naturopathic healer. Cool. Interesting that you got the 6 of discs. There's a few too many cards there. What's the last card here for Amanda? Oh. Okay, well, maybe I'll just show you this because this is at the bottom and I, for whatever reason, turned the deck upside down, but you have Justice, Libra, which the like second card that came out next to the 9 of Cups was this 6 of Pentacles, which he's holding Libra, the scales. This card's interesting because it's like the beggars asking for money. One guy literally has nothing and he's getting paid, and the other guy has so much because he's got like money in his pocket, but he's still begging, and this dude's holding the scales of justice over his head, like, right? So where is it? I think you have a lot, Amanda, like you have a lot, and you're like proud of that because you've like established yourself. You've been able to make your life the way it is. And there's people around you that like are craving and wanting from you or asking, and that's okay. Because some of them deserve it and some of them don't deserve it. If I can use that word, like everyone deserves, like, everyone's worthy, but like some people shouldn't be asking you. You need to like really tune to your heart. I'm feeling with the 6, that Tiferet energy of beauty, and like finding how can you like, okay, I want to note, you need to be in that heart space, but he has red around his belt, on his belt. So like there's still this Gabura energy of severity. There's still like being clothed in the mercy. He's kind of wearing like a blue garment. It's like blue and white, which is like chesed, like love and mercy. But then there's the like energy of like discernment, the energy of like I know who and what to do and what to give, when to give. I'm going to use this justice energy, this balance scales to add not only to your bounty. You have the King of Pentacles as like you in the final version, almost, I want to say, but also as a contribution to the earth. Like look all the earth around him. He's like gowned and clothed in it. There's like just so much foliage everywhere. Like there's a lot of beautiful earth energy there. It's like, maybe if you're feeling like you have so much love and so much to give, maybe like the book said, how can you give that to the earth around you rather than to people? When you just, like we talk about this often, like, oh, it's easy to want to like gift and give people stuff, but it's like sometimes you just can't do that. So what are other ways you can do that? And I think speaking words to the earth and to the plants can be a great way to do that. Let's pull a chakra card for you, Amanda. Oh my gosh, has it already been an hour, you guys? Time just goes by so fast. I can't stay here forever, so. I am a plant person, I read that. That makes so much sense to my actual situation. Okay, cool. Perfection. I'm wanting to say, like, you can't get it all right. I look at that. Like, that's freaking exactly she's like talking out to the plants. Words are leaving her, blessings are leaving her so the earth can grow. Yeah, I think if there's like especially someone right now, Amanda, who's like asking you for something, if it's like a kid or whatever, like it sucks, and me as a child of parents who I've asked for money, to have them say no. That's like a hard thing for everyone. I think it's even harder as a parent telling my kid no, right? But like sometimes it's just gotta like, sorry. Doesn't have to be right, but there's perfection in the world around you. Let the energy and the love be spoken words to them, and to, because we can speak words and that's going to impact a person's body and their experience too. I think there can be something said there for you. Pull one of these. I was just about to say something about Taurus because I'm seeing the bulls up around the throne, and the card came out, the power symbol. Cleanse, purify, and protect the physical body. If you practice Reiki, maybe you want to tune into the power symbol. I won't speak it here. You'll know it if you know it. Cleanse, purify, protect your physical body, the space you're in. It can be used, and when I teach Reiki, we talk about how we can use the symbol in all different forms to protect space, to cleanse space. That might be something that you want to tap into here for yourself to really support what you're going through. But yeah, like, just know that it's okay. Like, you can still send your love and everything without the material sense of giving. But be like okay with how you're approaching it, because I just really am seeing again this card and like seeing the established self you've or life you've built for yourself. Yeah, I'm just like feeling you being like proud of it, but in like a confident sense, not in an arrogant sense. Some people might say like, oh, you're just being arrogant, you don't want to share, but like, no, it's like, no, I've like done this. Like, what did you do to like create that for yourself? So that, yeah, it's interesting. and I love how it's like the blue chesed, mercy energy holding up the cups high. Like it's not an arrogant, negative type of energy. It's like a well-established love, mercy energy. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. Amanda, thank you for being here. So yeah, those of you new here, you see how I kind of do readings, a little bit different maybe. I'm not telling the future. No one can tell the future. Every future exists. Every possibility exists. But we're going to just continue on with Helga here. This is about asking questions, tapping into what the cards and the books or whatever messages want to come through, and just trusting that we can, like, you take what you need to, apply it in your own life, and see what shows up. Okay? I need to learn more about this. I know only how to clean the sage. That works too. You can just say, I call upon the power symbol of Reiki. Or you could go look it up online. Goes against my code of ethic to speak it unless you have been trained in it. That's what happens when you learn with a very strict German woman. Anyways, if anyone's ever interested in learning Reiki, I teach Reiki. It's kind of ideal if it's in person. I definitely recommend, but yeah. Okay, Helga, let's pull from the book for you. Here. Oh, okay, we're going to be flipping a page. Menstrual blood is highly oxygenated, the purest of blood, and it carries decoded DNA. It is the oxygen that decodes those strands and allows the restructuring of the data. Your scientists are now playing with a third strand of DNA. They are learning how to build strands of DNA based on photon lights, fibers in the body that we call the light-encoded filaments. The mystery of the blood has been subverted in your modern religions. Do you ever wonder about Christian communion? You were told to eat the body and drink the blood of Christ. What is the significance of that? If you were raised Christian, these are words that you heard over and over again. This is my body. This is my blood. This ritual is a distortion. Taking the body and blood invites a sense of cannibalism and is based on an ancient, unhealed reptilian infusion. Well, that just went somewhere I didn't expect. Anyways, I felt like I had to continue reading because there's something about mystery. Mystery of the blood has been subverted in your modern religions. There's something very powerful about communion. There's something very powerful about that. It's, I'm going to pull cards, Helga, but like, the fact that it's kind of going straight into religious stuff. Oof, whatever that just was for you. And the femininity, like how much damnation has happened for the woman around her menstrual cycle, around blood. People don't even want to talk about it. Oh, it's so interesting. And I'm like, my mind's just going to the Thelemic practice or the Gnostic Mass. And gotta be mindful what I'm talking about here. How can I word this that's like presentable for live conversation? Okay, at the center, we have the Sun card, the child riding the horse, Helga. This is like representing you, your golden light, your innocence, your da-da-da-da-da. We have the Page of Wands on the one side, looking at like the stroking of the staff. I'm seeing the link here of like this like hypersexualized masculinity, the negative aspect of the masculine, especially because of the religiosity that's maybe impacted and caused this like war inside of you. We have here the Knight of Swords, okay? So it's almost like this internal battle or something around like sexuality and around your femininity the innocence of who you are, and the things that maybe you've seen if you did grow up in a religious home, or the things you heard. I don't know, maybe like you're supposed to go to like a Gnostic mass. It's like the Thelemic interpretation that Crowley did of the Catholic mass. I'm so sorry. But that's literally all I could say about that, I feel. I'm going to pull one of these. I feel, and the reason, like, there's something else I can say about that. The reason I'm saying that is I feel like attending something like that completely opens up your, it can open up your mind and your lens on what that communion means, the sacredness of it, the sacredness even of sexuality. And I'm not talking about like sex. I'm talking about the sensual aspect of negative and positive poles joining. That's what sex is. That's why we have this earth, this creation. Okay, everything that came from the stars or wherever the beyond the light, it's because of this merger of Chokmah and Bina, the father and the mother, to create that child, to create you, to create a newness and innocence. We have the Enlightenment card. Yeah, you could literally just look online, Gnostic Mass in my area. I don't know, where do you live? You might be better able to, you don't have to tell me if you don't want. But I'm so sorry. I don't know that. Why is that coming through? That's weird. Let's pull one of these. I don't even know what to say about enlightenment except like insights. Understanding, more importantly, like the child meeting God, so to speak, meeting that God, but like the inner knowing inside, the inner teacher inside. Okay, let's pull one of these for Helga. Fire. Yeah, there's lots of yellow. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, positive transformation. So like whatever you're going through, even you being called to be here today, to ask for your cards read, me speaking whatever things I'm speaking, which seems very unconventional. I would never just like tell people to go and do that. That's kind of creepy. Looks like the card's floating. You're going through like the transformation of fire, the burning through to leave the old behind. You're a Leo, you're saying fire element, right? It's a fixed fire. But like, what if you could like create some change in your life and change of the old way in which you've perceived or been told to perceive the world? To me, that Gnostic Mass energy is definitely that. It'll open your mind, I guess, to different ways of seeing things. Or it might not. Whatever. You might just be left with like, what the fuck? But anyway, it's really not that weird. It's only as weird as you make it. Oh, you're in Iceland. Okay, I'm looking something up. I'm not sure if they have a group there, but you could always look up the OTO there. Anyways, I leave that to you, Helga. Whatever that means. Okay, next. We go into the next. Okay, I think this is the last one, Amy, because I'm going to have to go. Amy Horton. Hi, Shraddha K. Oh, I am, but I think I'm going to be finished now. I need to honor my time. But, before I pull from Amy's, cards and book, I just want to say, if you want cards pulled in the future, I do private readings with people. If you can't make it on live or you want to kind of go deeper into a reading, not on screen, because like even like you could see there's certain things I'm like, well, I can't really speak here live, partly because of community guidelines, partly because of my own personal choice of speaking words and holding it up for you to honor what you're going through. But maybe private reading is the better place for that. So you can find the description for that or the link for that in the description. But yeah, I do these lives every week, pretty much on Mondays. So feel free to subscribe. You can hit join. Members get the readings kind of first priority, and there's also weekly readings in the membership portal. Some other things like we've hosted rituals online and good things like that, which will be coming up to another new moon ritual here soon. But yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, then you'll be notified when I go live. You can hit join, see what's in the membership. I think it's like less than a coffee a day or whatever. No, per month. You pay per month, right? So anyways, just saying. So much fun here. 111. Okay, Amy Horton. Let's do a card for you. Book. And then Shraddha. Maybe I'll pull just like, I'll read something from the book for you. Okay. If you want to stick around. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do a full reading because I got to go. I have an appointment here, so. K. Amy Horton. Energies that would like to meet you merge with other forms of the library, so it is quite possible for the animal family to have other energies looking out of their eyes to observe and gather information. The key to the living library is you humans, because you can unlock and access the entire library. It does not mean that others cannot come in through trees or other plants to merge, peek out, and understand your reality. When you make peace and surrender and do not go around violating life forms because they happen to overstep a boundary that has been falsely set, you allow yourself to have meetings with civilizations that are perhaps much grander than you conceive of. So like Amy, I don't know if you are someone that picks up on a lot of like spiritual beings, entities, etc., which we didn't do any entities clearing, so maybe we do that right now. Any entities that are present? Any entities that are present? Do you know that you don't have a body? Who are you? And who were you before that? 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 And who would you like to be in the future? When you take your magnetic imprinting now. Good, bad, right, wrong, pod, poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. So we have the 5 of Cups here. We have the Ace of Swords for you, Amy. What's one more card for Amy? If it's a message from an entity, then so be it. Ugh, my hand is hurting out of nowhere, like all here. So whatever that is. Who are you? Who were you before that? Who were you before that? Who were you before that? And what would you like to be in the future? Good, bad, right, wrong, pod, poc, all 100, shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. Okay. First, Amy, you have this 5 of Cups. So there's something here about this, like, sorrow, sadness. I'm, like, seeing this as tied to your, like, abilities or your gifts, like, psychically. And you have, okay, there's a few other cards that came out. First was the Ace of Swords, but you also have here the King of Swords. So there's something about like a mastery happening here with your thoughts, your ability, like, did I even say like, do you like read minds? Like, or like, you know, like telepathy? because then you have this High Priestess card. So it's like showing something about like your ability to, yeah, like know and perceive, intuit the things that are going on. What is this? There's something about like, you know, like when we've like experienced sensing or knowing things and then we kind of like damn ourselves around it. We judge ourselves. Like, it's about you learning how to balance the judgment and the like love. Again, severity of Gabura with the red, the Hesed merciful love. Like there's something about that here that I feel like can really help kind of lighten this sorrow or this hardness on yourself. Spirit wants to show you. Because like here, it's like the crown on the sword that then kind of is on the king's actual head, like the ruler's head. Okay. But first, this embodiment of this high priestess, the embodiment of trusting that you know, that you're not missing out on certain abilities, even or like how they worked in the past, if they're changing, like whatever that might mean for you. Like we really are entering a new way of being with our intuition, being with our gifts, our abilities to perceive. I do feel many spirits. I sometimes know things. I have no business knowing. Yeah, I hear that. And that makes sense with the knowing because the swords is like the knowing, the thoughts. Oh my goodness. Let's pull one of these chakra cards for whatever this is. Bringing balance, I think is what I want to say. You know, like a sword can't be girthed. Girthed? That's not the right word. I don't think. I don't know. But the sword can't be like, you know, like in the movies, they'll like take the sword out and then they'll like hold it and it's like has perfect like weight on both sides. Like that wielded. That's the word I want. Not girth. Man, I have like sex on my brain apparently. Anyways, the sword can't be held without a proper like balance, right? Wielded without that proper whatever that's called in like the sword making world. But like your abilities are in a way a sword. Your abilities are in a way like the weapon in which you can like not to say like it's to fight the bad entities or negative things, but it's a way for you to discern and to shift energy and to share knowledge and whatever that is with the world. Like it's a gift. And yes, it does suck sometimes when it's like this, something about this black, because I'm seeing it in the pillar of Boaz or severity here, the black pillar, and also with that figure who's cloaked in the black. Like it can be sometimes heavy, but it's like, the intuition, the knowing is this weapon that's meant to support you and put you on this throne to lift you up, to make you stronger as you walk on this earth. Okay, the card that came out was the Despondence card. So there's that card again. I think I no longer have what the meaning is there, but when we were talking in the collective reading, if you missed that maybe, was how like despondence can also is like a giving up or losing hope or whatever, but it's also like this energy of like to give up a soul. There was like a Latin phrase of giving up one's soul, like recognizing the sacrificialness of that. Like, you know, the high priestess or the seeress or whatever is in that place of giving up. Mary Magdalene like was in that role. She knew what she was sacrificing or giving up as Jesus like was resurrected and like went through the whole crucifixion process. It is that Bina, the right pillar of severity is like the feminine energy. It's topped by the energy of Bina, the great mother, the great sea. It's like the darkness, the void. It's like, but it's also that deep knowing. It's so much that I think we can get trapped in the like story of like, oh, I just don't want to do this. I don't want to be here or experience this. So just inviting, I guess, Hugh, Amy, like, what do I know? What do I know that if I would just be willing to see it could bring me so much more consciousness and grace and love? And anything and everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Yes or no? Good, bad, right, wrong, pod, poc, all 100 shorts, boys, povads, creations, bases, and beyonds. That's the clearing statement, if I didn't say that earlier. But you have this triple goddess, triple moon card. So that's just a confirmation. It's literally the thing that's like on her head. It says, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly, all those gifts, the thoughts, the emotions, the difficulties, this again, you know, the video that's coming out on Wednesday, you guys, is like pretty much about this. Like, it's a bit of a mix of card pull, energy reading, all about this like concept of the goddess, that energy of Binah, that embracing everything. Like, a mother doesn't judge what's going on, right? We have to do that same thing for ourselves, not judge what's going on. And see, like, whatever these abilities that you have, Amy, to tap into entities or beings, energies, like, let it kind of just like wash over you and through you. That's the moon. That's that triple moon. It's like it's new, it grows and becomes full, and then it dies again, right? It's never really holding on to anything. It's constantly in an ebb and flow like structure. I would definitely recommend you go back and listen to the collective reading. There might be some more things that show up for you around that, and this concept of like the sacrificial despondency or giving up of one's soul. And remember to be protecting yourself with light. You have the yods all around the sword here, those little lights. The Hermit card. Nature as well. Okay, I think that's all I have to say, Amy. I've always been an overthinker. Oh, this is someone else. I want my fame. I want my freedom. Make Illuminati obey John Fentel. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. I am a truth seeker, seer and speaker, Amy says. Yes, love unconditionally. Yeah. What ways are you, or can you continue to explore those abilities, those gifts that you hold? Okay, because yeah, that's going to be a huge benefit for you, because this priestess is you, and it can definitely be a sorrowful path, like a path not many people want to walk on. Okay, Shraddha. I said I would read a book portion for you. Next time, hopefully, we'll get you here on time. But this is what happened last time. I ended up being on here for like 2 hours, and I need to not do that. As much as it like energizes me, I have other things I'm going to do today. I have an appointment and get my body nice and massaged. Okay, Shraddha, okay. Let's see what the book says. And we're just going to call to angels for healing. If you're having low back pain or anything like that, yeah, whoever's watching and coming on and has that, just clearing that. Okay, my eyes went over here. It says here, you are beginning to realize at the close of this millennium that genetic engineering is no big deal. You, Earth's inhabitants, would go into immediate shock if you learned what is now possible by fusing genes together. If your so-called news sources were to do stories concerning goings-on in some of the laboratories around your planet. Creatures have been created and life forms have been unleashed on the Earth plane in many places. If this power to create life is now available to evolving humans with two-stranded DNA, imagine what kind of genetic understanding is held by beings who have existed for hundreds of thousands of years. This is how worlds and species are created and are born. These so-called gods, like waves of energy, split off from Prime Creator and set out in this free will zone. They take the energy of prime creators, the web of existence, and experiment so that they can learn about power and energy. Whew. They have free will to do whatever they want. And if and when they get lost and forget and create things of darkness, it is all part of the same game. It is the same energy. It is all connected and it all needs to be healed. So I'm not sure what's going on for you, Shraddha. But what I'm hearing with that, I'll just say, I mean, take what you will. But what I'm thank you, Amy. Sneezing. Allergy season. Oh my goodness. What I'm hearing, reading is like, we have so much power of healing our body. You know, like how can we create change in our body as it has difficulties with pain or with dis-ease, illness, discomfort, by tapping into those energies. So we'll just call those Pleiadians, the blue light of the Pleiades, to support with healing and rearranging any structural needs in your body. Shraddha, if you are willing to receive that, you can. Imagining that blue light. When I work with the Pleiadians, I often see them coming in as like these cosmic surgeons, and they like go in during sessions with people, or like literally going through and like repatterning the energetic strands. That's how I would describe it. So whatever that needs to look like for you, and whatever expansiveness that can create in your life, how can you use that, even if you are a healer, or you like tap into that, because you don't need to like learn how to do it. You know, like I'm like trained as a psych nurse. And then I did like energy work stuff, but like you don't have to like get a training. It just started developing as I worked through it and tapped into my own intuitiveness. Some people, maybe you are like that and can hold that energy. Okay. Oh, you're a doctor. Oh, cool. Okay. Well then, interesting. So how are you tapping into that ability or those beings to help heal? You don't, yeah, I don't know. It's weird, right? Because it's like, oh, you don't have to tell people about it, but like those beings, maybe that's why you're here, those Pleiadians, maybe they want to work with you and support you in like the operating room, so to speak, or your clinical room, right? Yeah, okay. Sweet. It's related. I understand a little bit. Yes, you're welcome. Okay. Sweet, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guides. Thank you, angels, those galactic beings, for showing up and supporting us. As we go through the rest of this week, may we all just be alive and awakened to the truth of our own paths, individually and collectively. May we walk with courage so that we show our faces, so we can be ourselves in all our weird galacticness. And remember that we are meant to be here on this planet at this time. This is part of our journey here. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Yeah, this is an interesting book. What's it called? Earth, the Pleiadian Keys to the Living Library. Barbara Marciniak. So maybe it's something worth exploring. Thanks, Meredith. Thanks for being here, as always. Yeah, I'm going to have to post something about this next moon ritual. I'm hoping to do it for the new moon. I'm going to go listen to Fred Dodgson's Pleiades book. Ooh, I don't think I've read that. I'm going to have to check that out. But yeah, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Amy. Bye, everyone. Have a great week. Until next time.